The 17th Light Dragoons have experienced a slight retask organization, but it's mostly the same list that I've been running with just some small tweaks. The Warlord Remains list, Leman Russ, Tank Commander, he has the Vanquisher cannon on the front of his Leman Russ, along with a last cannon, and his Warlord trait is Master of Command, giving him an additional tank order to give each round. He also has Kurof's Aquila. That cost me 1 command point. As we look at our headquarters, you see the Tempestor Prime. He still has the Laurels of Command, still a big fan of that relic. And with the 3 Tempestus Scion squads coming down, I think that will definitely come in handy during this game. Also in the headquarters element, we have the Company Commander. He has dropped his plasma pistol and sword and just replaced it with the last pistol and a chain sword. And then we have 2 Primaris Psychers, and then behind him 1 platoon leader in the elites. Troop choices. These are the 3 Tempestus Scion squads we talked about. Each of the sergeants here has a power sword. Each squad has a total of 7 men in it with their hotshot las guns. There are no special weapons in it. They just come down here to screen for me and take out infantry targets. They are supported by 3 infantry squads. These are just regular guys in the 17th Shetland Light Dragoons. We do have a flamer and a boxcaster in each one of these squads. And the squad sergeant is armed with a chainsword and just a last pistol. In the fast attack section, we have the 3 sentinels. These are armored sentinels. 2 are armed with autocannons, 1 armed with a missile launcher, but keep them cheap. In the elites, in addition to the platoon leader, we have 2 veteran squads. These veteran squads are armed with 1 grenade launcher in each to keep them cheap. The sergeant has a last pistol and chainsword, and then there's a boxcaster. All the men are armed with shotguns, as you can see, sawed-off variety, and these are really my pathfinders, and we'll see why later on. As far as the Leman Russ tanks, I got the standard Leman Russ there with the heavy bolter on the front, the Plasma Executioner with the 2 side plasma cannon sponsons, and then the heavy bolter on front. And of course, then we have the Punisher. We're going up against the Crimson Fist tonight. May not be as effective, but maybe it will be. It also has 3 heavy bolters in addition to the Punisher cannon. And then to round out the army, we have the War Steeds for my infantry squads. Those are 3 Chimeras, each one armed with a multi-laser and a heavy bolter on the front. So all in all, a brigade detachment gives me 12 command points, of which I used 1 for my second artifact, leaving me with 11 left over. Obviously, a lot of firepower in this list, ready to take on Jake's Crimson Fist.
Jake here, again, playing Space Marines, 1850 on the nose for points. It's a battalion detachment. It's a 4th Company Crimson Fist, backed up by some 1st Company veterans and some 10th Company scouts. We'll start with our HQ choice of one HQ choice of a chaplain with a jump pack and bolt pistol and Crozius Arcanum. Tactical squads 4 and 5, 5-man squads with a flamer each. 1st Assault Squad with a sergeant has Thunderhammer and bolt pistol with a flamer and plasma pistol. Devastator Squad 1 with 2 Laws cannons, 2 missile launchers. Sergeant has chainsword and bolt gun. Second Devastator Squad, Sergeant has bolt pistol and chainsword, 2 plasma cannons, 2 heavy bolters. That's a 9-man squad and an 8-man squad. We have a dedicated transport of a Razorback with twin link Laws cannons and storm bolters. We have a Venerable Dreadnought with assault cannon and heavy flamer. We have a land speeder with Typhoon missile launchers and heavy bolter. Over here we have 10th Company Scouts as 2 more troop choices. 5 with sniper rifles and camel cloaks. 5 with bolt guns, and the sergeant has bolt pistol and large combat knife. And then for our first company veterans, we have our chaplain with Stormbolter and Crozius Arcanum, and he will be the warlord. We have a librarian. This is the only model that won't be WYSIWYG. He has a Combi Flamer Stormbolter, a force stave, and a standard 5-man Terminator squad. And that's all.
All right, so the Warlord trait for your Warlord is going to be the standard Crimson Fist one, I presume?
Yes, not the Warlord trait. Yes, the Crimson Fist Warlord traits and the Chapter Tactics Crimson Fist, which ignore cover.
All right. So we'll be back with the mission and deployment after this.
What is the location?
Tonight's mission for the 17th Light Dragoons facing off against the Crimson Fist is Cleanse and Capture Maelstrom of War. The deployment style, Spearhead Assault. So, to begin with, Jake is arrayed on this side of the field. He currently has objective number 1, 2, and 3, and is dangerously close to objective number 6. Jake, you want to take us through your guys here?
Alright, so I scouted 2 of my troop choices, the snipers, which allowed me to put in 9 inches of his lines, and the scout squad with bolters right there. They're just getting out there. They're hugging the terrain really, really tight. They're not actually standing up. I wouldn't stand up in the open right there anyway. I have my land speeder over here with the Typhoon missile launcher and heavy bolters. I have Devastator squad number 1 up here in the tower with the 2 Las cannons and 2 missile launchers. I have my Venerable Dreadnought down here with the assault cannon and heavy flamer. I have Tactical Squad 4 in the Razorback with the dual Las cannons. I have Tactical Squad number 5 down here. And I have Devastator Squad number 2 right here with plasma cannons and heavy bolters.
All right.
In reserves, I have Assault Squad number 1. I have the Terminator Chaplain, which is my Warlord. I have the Terminator Librarian. I have the Chaplain with Jump Pack. And I have the 5-man Terminator Squad.
All right, very good. Let's check out the 17th Light Dragoons deployment. The Shelties start the game by controlling objective number 4 and objective number 5. The Warlord Tank Commander is here on the left, and then he is supported by a standard Lehman Russ and the Lehman Russ Executioner. Over on the left, scouts are out, 2 armored sentinels protecting the left flank, and then the Chimeras perform the same function directly to the front. One on the left has a platoon leader, one in the center has a primary psyker. The company commander and his squad are in their Chimera back here to the right, watching for any deep strikers, and 1 more armored sentinel is over on the right flank in order to maintain board control. Lastly, 1 primary psyker, alone and unafraid, is here behind the ruins, ready to bring the warp powers to bear against the Crimson Fist. The 3 units of Tempestus Science and the Tempestor Prime are standing by to graph shoot insert onto the battlefield. While this Lehman Russ, Punisher, along with 2 squad of veterans, are making use of the Tallarn stratagem ambush for 3 command points, which will allow them to come in on any board edge more than 9 inches away from the Crimson Fist. Pretty powerful. We're going to see how it works tonight. Jake will have a +1 to determine who goes first. I'm in blue. That's a 3. That's a 6. This time, the 17 Shetland Light Dragoons will attempt to steal the initiative.
Yeah, not going to happen.
Needing a 6.
Oh, wow.
Wow, indeed. All right, the Shelties are going first. I can't remember the last time I went first. But here we go. On to Imperial Guard, turn 1. The Guard has drawn secure objective 2, defend objective 5, and defend objective 6. Objective 2 is back here in all of this craziness behind that ancient dreadnought. Defend objective 5 should be relatively easy for the Guardsmen, right there in my lines. While defend objective 6 is right in the middle. We'll have to see what Guard battle plan is for turn 1. In guard turn 1 movement phase, I mostly stayed put because Jake has a lot of things in Deep Strike Reserve. I did move this Chimera up while getting this unit of infantry out of their Chimera with the platoon leader still in there. They advanced and moved a total of 12 inches, and that Chimera moved up here to block that flank. Moved the Sentinels in towards me just a little bit, while the tanks remained where they were at. Last thing I did was graph shoot insertion for the 3 units of Tempestus Scions, because that Devastator squad is a problem, and I want it to be gone. So next up, guard second phase. This Primaris Psyker reached in the warp in order to create a night shroud around the Lehman Russ tank commander. Yeah, I'm working on it, guys. So that will be +1 to Jake's to hit roll, making him a little bit more protected. On to the guard shooting phase. The guard shooting phase started with the Tempestus Prime giving orders to these Scions. He has the Laurels of Command, but failed all 3 rolls, and he got 3 because he has the Rod of Command, and then I used the stratagem to give an additional order. So all of them opened up with first rank fire, second rank fire, killing all but 2 from that Devastator squad.
6 out of the 8.
So, pretty good damage. This Chimera, along with this Heavy Bolter, opened up at the tactical squad there, killing 1 of the 5. While the big cannon on the Lehman Russ stock variant opened up and killed 3 scouts. Heavy Bolter did nothing. This Chimera also tried to contribute, but with that 2-up save, they were really stuck in there, as did those 2 Sentinels. The Vanquisher, however, had a little better luck, taking out 1 of this squad up in the tower. So overall, I think the Guard achieved its objectives on trying to get rid of at least 1 of those squads, and will now wait for the inevitable Crimson Fist counterattack. Jake's about to roll for his Devastator squad. He lost 6. That's a 2, so they are good. They are not fleeing. As far as my cards are concerned, I did not secure Objective 2. I'm halfway to defending Objective 5, and nowhere near defending Objective 6. But the good news is, for Jake at least, I did not get First Blood. But I think I did enough damage to get me well on my way. So now for Crimson Fist, turn 1. Before you begin, Jake, let me just add that I got rid of Defend Objective 2. So what do you got?
I got secure Objective 1, defend Objective 6, and hold the line.
Objective 1 needs to be secured, but Jake has a squad in the area. Well, this one at 6 needs to be defended. Scouts already on the mission. Will they be able to hold is the question. Lastly, secure the line is going to be difficult because we got 4 separate units back here. And there's still the Punisher and 2 scout squads. I'm sorry, the 2 veteran Pathfinder squads in my reserve. So on to Jake's movement phase.
Movement phase, turn 1, Crimson Fist. Devastator squad stayed put. Plasma cannon did not move. Sergeant just turned to face these guys. This tactical squad moved up to here, 9 inches or 6 inches. This tactical squad got out of the Rhino, the Razorback 3 inches and moved up 6 inches. The Land Speeder moved up to here. Stayed put, stayed put, stayed put. And then these guys dropped in 9 inches away from this squad right here.
Okay, very interesting. Seems like you did not take kindly to my Scions coming in to say hello.
Who does, man? They're nasty. That's a nasty, nasty unit that inflicts a -2 on you when they cause their wounds, and they hit on a 3-up. I mean, that's pretty deadly stuff right there.
Yeah, as demonstrated.
And, you know, I got to try my best to go after cards as tactical objectives, and one of mine is to hold the line.
Good point. So you're still on 1, and looks like you're within 3 inches of 6,
yep.
so we'll see if that can last. All right, we'll be back with the Guard no psychic phase, or the Crimson Fist no psychic phase, but we'll go straight to the shooting phase.
All right, shooting phase, turn 1, Crimson Fist, 4th Company. The 10th Company Scouts put down 2 shots down here, taking out 2 of this squad, not enough to make them panic.
1 shot, 1 kill.
These guys stood still. The Venerable Dreadnought here put some hate into these guys back here. I think he killed about 3 of them, maybe?
Yep.
The Twin Link Laws Cannon on this Rhino right here on the Razorback shot at him, causing no wounds. Stormbolter right here shot at these guys, causing no wounds. Plasma Cannon here and the Sergeant, I think, took out a few.
Yeah, absolutely.
This squad took out a few of these guys. This squad took out a few of these guys, and the Flamer took out a few of these guys. Typhoon missile launcher, I believe, took out some more of this squad. The Devastators up here took 8 wounds off this Chimera. And as you can see, I was probably hoping to pop that to maybe next turn, hoping to drop something in within 9 inches back there by blowing something up, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, you did use a stratagem, because originally
Yep.
I think you rolled a 1
Yep.
and then a 3, then you came back with a 5. Kurov's the killer did not kick in, so I did not get a stratagem back for that. As far as that's concerned, just to recap, I lost a squad of 7 over here. I lost 3 out of those 4, and then I lost 2 out of those 7. I'm sorry, 3 out of those 7. With that, Jake, we'll go on to the assault phase.
I have one thing to assault if you want to keep the camera on.
All right.
It's going to be the assault squad. I need to roll an 11 here to attack these guys.
Okay. Let's
So
see
if
what
you want to
got.
do your Overwatch.
All right, so I got 4 shots in Overwatch. I will be hitting on 6s. There was 1 6 there. Wounding on a 5 or a 6. Nothing. So you need an 11. That's an 8.
Stratagem point.
Okay, you need a 6 here. Very
10.
close.
Let's measure that up real quick.
Oh, I get a stratagem point back. So that brings me back up to 8, I believe.
With 10 inches, I believe that I am 1 inch away from you
Okay,
for this assault.
okay. Bring him in. A look of concern on Arwen's face. What do you got, Jake?
I managed to assault in, kill your Tempester, and kill that squad. And of note, I made a super mistake when I was reading off my list at the beginning of the video. I put in my wrong assault squad. The assault squad I was supposed to put in was my one with my sergeant that you saw last time, with the power fist and the combat shield.
Fist of
And he
Vengeance!
has the Fist of Vengeance
Nice.
for the Crimson Fist chapter tactics. And it's totally my whiffle on that, but we resolved it. Mike's a great guy about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that he fails this save right here for morale, because I'm going for points right now. I'm going to need all I can get when I'm getting devastated and spanked by all these tanks here pretty soon.
I haven't been devastated yet. Alright, so their leadership's 7. They've lost 4. They are good with the 1. So they will stay put, deny you that point. These guys lost 2, leadership 7. They have rolled a 6, so they're going to lose a 3rd guy here, Jake. Not bad. We'll take a look at your cards next.
All right, I secured objective 1. And I'm going to do discard, hold the line, because I just have a feeling that this Punisher and some veteran squads are going to creep up in my back lines and hose down the rest of my stuff.
That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Okay, so, well, you got 1 point
One objective.
for the objective. You got 1 point for First Blood. So right now the Guard are behind 2-1 to the Crimson Fist. We'll be back with Guard turn 2. The Guard finished the Crimson's Fist turn by defending Objective 5, which was right there, for 2 points. So that actually gives me 3 to Jake's 2. For my draw, I got Hold the Line, Overwhelming Firepower, and Advance. Turn 2, Guard movement phase. This Sentinel moved forward just a bit to protect the right flank of this Chimera who moved forward. The commander and that squad moved out of the damaged Chimera. Chimera remained in place. Well, these 2 Lehman Roost tanks moved 5 inches each more towards the center. Command tank stayed there, as did that Chimera and those 2 Sentinels. The squad that was down there moved and advanced up to the Sky Shield landing platform using the Tallarn regimental doctrine, so they're going to be able to shoot normal. While the squad that was in here did the same thing, rolling a 6 on their advance and getting right in the face of those Space Marines. That Dreadnought is worrisome, but he can't climb ruins. So the last thing I did for movement was these guys moved backwards, try to get a little bit of space between them and the Assault Marines that murdered all their buddies. And at the end of the movement phase, I moved the Punisher and the 2 squads of veterans onto the board to try to continue to push some pressure on Jake over here, as that's where most of his combat power is. So we'll be back with the Guard Psychic phase next. For turn 2, guard psychic phase. This psyker was a little expended after the last turn. He failed to get off Night Shroud on the commander's tank. This one was fresh and cast Night Shroud on this tank, so Jake's going to be a little bit more pressed to hit him. It's going to be a little tougher. Unfortunately, the commander's exposed, but I wasn't within 12 inches to reach all the way back there to cast on him. So now, on to guard shooting phase. Guard turn 2 shooting phase. Started with these guys who advanced up there, received their orders from the company commander back here, who used the Voxcaster to convey the orders. It took every single shot from the flamers and the last guns, doing first rank fire, second rank fire. Jake failed it on the last 4-up save for a scout up there, so they are dead. Over to the tanks. Both of those were ordered to reroll 1s to hit, so the Plasmacutioner was able to take out the 2 scouts up there, while did not roll so hot on the Lemon Roost with the battle cannon, despite using a command point. Only managed to take out 1 guy up there, while the Lemon Roost Vanquisher didn't do any damage to those guys up there, making 5-up saves all day. The 2 Sentinels didn't have any targets once the scouts were dead, and that's okay. And neither so much to that Chimera, and that's okay too. Everything on this side, to include that Sentinel, this Chimera, that grenade launcher, and these shotguns, and 1 heavy bolter from here, only managed to kill 1 of those Devastators. I really was looking for 3. The Punisher cannon opened up with 20 shots. We don't play it where he gets double the amount of shots because we're waiting for GW to fact that. And 2 heavy bolters, taking out a total of 7 of the Assault Marines, so not bad. At this time, Jake, we only lost 1 up there, and we lost 1 here, so no leadership test there. Do you owe a leadership test here? You need a 1 not to run anybody away. That's a 2, so at this point 1 guy runs away. You can reroll that if you want. No. I didn't think so. Alright, well, see what I scored. Come back to you with the cards. Guard turn 2, we score, hold the line. We were 1 unit away from getting D3 from overwhelming firepower. That 1 stubborn Marine from the Devastator squad, hanging in there. Don't score advance. Even though I could score that in the future, I'm going to go ahead and discard that because I think there's probably some easier ones for me to get. So at the end of the turn, the Guard have 5 points.
I've drew Advance and Assassinate. Advance is all my units out of my deployment zone. Assassinate, kill any character, and I still have Defend Objective 6. Maybe I should have kept that Hold the Line.
Perhaps. I think you're going to get it here shortly. Objective 6 is swarming with guardsmen. It'll take a lot to dislodge them.
Crimson Fists, turn 2, movement. Assault Marines move forward. This tactical squad move forward. This tactical squad move forward. Devastator stayed put. Landspeeder stayed put. Razorback stayed put. Venerable Dreadnought stayed put. Devastator squad stayed put.
Alright, you kind of deliberated bringing in some of your deep strikers and opted against it. I think you're being stymied by the Guard's positioning right now, huh?
I mean, it's just tough. I mean, they're foot sloggers, and you make that 9-inch buffer. You can't get the guys in where they need to destroy stuff. When they need to destroy is in the back line. You know, they have 1 unit that can do that. That's these guys right now. Until I move these guys forward, these guys forward, but I gotta get rid of these guys who are harassing my back lines right here.
Yes, they are. Ambush, Tallarn style. Or in this case,
we're gonna mow some down this time.
All right, back after the Space Marine shooting phase.
Yep. Shooting phase. These guys are able to wipe out 2 of these guys in this squad. The land speeder over here shot crack missiles at the tank, doing nothing. Heavy bolter at them, doing nothing. These guys shot everything at them, killing off 4 dudes, I think, with combined fire at this squad as well.
Yep.
The Razorback took 6 wounds off the tank. The Storm Bolter, I don't think did any wounds here. The Assault Cannon took out 5 of these guys. And the Devastator squad, I positioned all my fire onto the tank, and I took it out with my 2 missile launcher guys.
Yeah, so I was saving my equivalent, go to ground, now it's called take cover, 1 stratagem, to see where those guys were going to shoot, because I need to protect my tank commander back there. Jake held them to fire them last, So it wasn't until I was already 6 wounds down that I decided to take cover on this Punisher. In the end, it didn't help me as he hit me with 2 missile launchers, needing 4s or better. I rolled twice below 4, and that's what ended up destroying me. So good play by Jake, keeping those Devastators to the end, because it really made me waste a couple of rounds of shooting against my tank by hesitating to pull the trigger. All right, any assaults, Jake?
Yes, I'm gonna have.
Couple? We'll come back afterwards.
Let's see. You know what? I go for the glory. I'm probably gonna have 2 assaults here.
All right, well, we'll be back after the assault phase.
I power fisted those guys right out of their armor.
Fist of Vengeance.
These guys killed 1 dude.
Yes, and I hit 5 times, hit him back 5 times, only wounded him once though, and Jake made a save. All right, so I need to make a couple of morale checks here. I lost 5 from the unit. This guy's dead. So leadership would be 2 at this point. I need 2 or less. That is a 5, so I'm going to lose 3 more guys there. Yes. And then this squad lost 5. Leadership 7. That is a 6. Use a stratagem to reroll that. And get a 3, so I'll lose 1 from there. Alright, 2 from there, 1 from there. Be back to see what Jake scored this turn. Astra Militarum turn 3. I drew mission critical objective and rolled a 3. Secure objective 3 and secure objective 5. Objective 5, if you recall, is back here firmly in my control, while 3 is on the exact opposite corner of the board and will be very difficult to get to. But if anybody can, it's the 17th Shetland Light Dragoons. They're fast. Let's see what they can do. This is the end of Guard turn 3 movement. As you can see, both of these veteran squads went ahead and disengaged from the combat they were in. The commander and his squad that was with him near Objective 5 have hopped into that Rhino, since it's a good Rhino, not like the bad Rhino. And he remained pretty stationary. I moved these guardsmen back, still near 6, but away from line of sight from that dreadnought until I can kill it. And then this other guard squad of 7 has moved down. They're going to get in that that Chimera and move forward to other things. Show off our speed. Just shuffled around the tanks just a little bit. And then move that Sentinel over on the left so he has line of sight to that squad now because he was missing line of sight to them earlier. With that, we'll go to Guard Psychic phase. Guard Psychic phase. This Primaris Psyker did a good job. He has smited this group of Space Marines now from 4 to 2. While this one who was tired last turn apparently still remains tired because trying to cast Night Shroud on the commander, he failed again, this time rolling a 5. So he's getting his strength back up, but not quite enough yet, as now we go into Guard shooting phase. Guard turn 3 started with some orders. Spent 1 stratagem in order to make that Chimera into a mobile command vehicle. To put both these guys back in the fight. Ultimately, it wasn't needed as this squad right here killed the last 2 Marines there. In that squad, didn't do much else. But what autocannon from the Sentinel, even though he moved, hits on 4s because Tallarn killed 1 Assault Marine. Well, this Chimera shot in that squad of 5, which is now a squad of 4. Essentially, everything else on the board that could fire opened up onto the devs here, killing a total of 4. Jake used a command point to reroll 1 of those, and I converted with Kurov's Aquila, which allowed me to gain 1 back. So, not a bad round for Guard. Jake, you owe me a morale test up there, sir. As a 5 plus 4 is 9. You lose 1, but you can reroll that if you want.
I'm going to.
Alright, you need a 4 or less here. That's off the table. That's a 2, so they pass, knowing no fear. Okay, so Jake has to bring in his reserves this turn, and that's really when things will open up for my Guard, I think. He's been keeping them kind of boxed in here, waiting for these guys to come down so I can kill them. And then it's going to be breakout time. Let's check to see what we score first, though. Okay, I did not get either Objective 3 card, but I did get Secure Objective 5. So, another good turn for Guard. Pretty happy with where we're at. We're going to keep these because I want to show you guys just how mobile the 17th Light Dragoons are. They're going to get Objective 3 before the game's over. Unless Jake drops everything.
I got Scour the Skies.
Hold on, Jake. We're coming over. You want to say something?
Scour the Skies.
That's not very useful for you.
Nope.
All right. So we'll see if you can kill some people. That's always fun for you.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be back with Crimson Fist turn 3 movement coming up next.
Crimson Fist, turn 3. Assault Sergeant moved up, getting that +1 cover. This squad moved up, getting that +1 cover. Land Spear moved right over here. Chaplain dropped in right back here. Reasons for this, I mean, I gotta pray my cards turn for the better. And I get some of these objectives back here. Librarian, Chaplain, Terminator, and Terminator squad dropped right here. These guys did not move. Devastators did not move.
Okay, on to the psychic phase for the Crimson Fist. You're gonna smite somebody, right?
I'm gonna smite the closest unit I can.
Let's go ahead and try that real quick.
So I believe these guys are 12 inches, and these guys are longer, so it's these guys right here.
Okay.
So
Goes off on a 5. 6, I'm gonna try to deny with my Primaris. 7, so I do deny it. Take that, Psyker. Alright, on to guard Crimson Fist shooting. Crimson Fist turn 3 shooting.
Alright, shooting. This guy took 3 wounds off of him.
I did use a stratagem to take cover.
Las Cannon did nothing to him. Storm Bolter did nothing. Heavy Bolter finished off last guy here, which these guys and some of these guys finished off. These guys shot into here as well. This guy shot at him, doing nothing. And Las Cannons shot at him, doing nothing.
Yeah. Alright. That was a 6-up save against the last cannon. He wanted to live. So, Jake, I owe you 1 morale check for the sergeant here. His leadership is 7. I rolled a 3. They lost 3, so he's going to stay in the fight for now. We'll go back and take a look at your cards, but I don't think it's going to be good for you.
I don't score anything.
Jake doesn't score anything, so we go to Imperial Guard, turn 4. The Guard maintain mission critical objective number 3, secure objective 3, and then Drew secure objective 1. That's the card Jake needs, not what I need, is he's firmly in control of that. So we'll come back with the Guard movement phase, and now that everything's in from reserves, we'll see if we can conduct our breakout. Guard turn 4 movement phase, and the breakout has begun. I moved this sentinel up 8 inches while moving this guy back, advancing 7 inches. These guys advanced down this guy's shield landing platform a total of 10 inches. Well, this guy moved his full speed of 10 inches, as did the tank commander, so he's within 6 inches of both tanks at this point. The commander's Chimera moved forward at rapid pace, advancing to get around the containers. The scout sentinel has moved back, just in case we get a draw objective 4 card. Well, this one's moving up in support of this Chimera, who rolled a 5 for his advance after the squad that was there jumped in, so they've advanced a total of 17 inches. Feeling pretty good about the Tallarn Doctrine right now. We're not going to get too many shots in this turn, but that's okay because we've really whittled Jake's forces down. The Terminators are the biggest threat, but I will say they're pretty slow, so I think we're going to be okay. We're going to see as we go to the Guard shooting phase, turn 4. Okay, Guard shooting before you roll that, Jake. Put shots from the Plasma Cutioner before it moved back 6 inches, thanks to the tank commander's order. And also the autocannon ended up taking 3 guys out from that squad. Spent 1 stratagem, 1 command point for a stratagem to make that into a mobile command bunker again, and gave these guys move, so they've now formed a firing line in case the Terminators decide to get wily. The tank commander's other order was to reroll 1s here, and even though he moved 10 inches, he was still shooting the battle cannon, the Vanquisher cannon, and the last cannon. Jake made a crazy number of 5-up saves between the Vanquisher cannon, the battle cannon, the auto cannon, and the missile launcher. I was hitting and wounded and giving him -2 or -3 to his saves, but he was making 5-ups all day. Only lost 1 up there. That was it for shooting though. So at this point, Jake, you need to roll a morale check for those guys right there. 4.
5, 6, 7 makes it.
Indeed it does. Okay, we'll come back and look at Guard's cards. Okay, Guard did not manage to score any objectives this turn. We're going to discard Secure Objective 1. Right now the score is 6-2 favor Guard as we go to Crimson Fist turn 4. Jake, did you draw your card?
Yes.
Are you happy?
Yeah, whatever.
Looks like I think it might be okay. Jake drew Supremacy. That could get him D3 victory points if he can secure 3 objectives. And I think he's positioned himself well to do just that. Because there's 3. 1's over there. What number is that, Jake? That's number 2. So this will let you D3 victory points.
Yep.
The other 2 cards, Assassinate and Defend Objective 6. A little bit tougher.
Movement. Jump the sergeant back here, the chaplain over here. Secure objective 3. Venerable Dreadnought, security objective 2. Sergeant stand put, security objective 1. Tornadoes and Librarian advanced here. Chaplain moved right here.
Okay, so you're well positioned to score D3 points at the end of the turn. So come back with the psychic phase and the shooting phase. We'll do those as one.
Alright, starting off, show all these, smited the sergeant in the psychic phase. All these guys here, so the storm bolters at him, doing nothing. Typhoon missile launcher took 2 off the plasmacutioner.
3.
3. Storm bolt, heavy bolter did nothing to him. Twin link Las cannons did nothing to him. These guys took another 6 wounds off of this guy. I was really hoping to pop him.
Came close.
This guy, nothing off of them. That's it.
Okay, I did use a stratagem to increase his armor save by 1, take cover, and really did some good damage against the plasmacutioner. I'm a little disappointed in that. Good rolls on your part. Jake, you gonna do any assaults?
No.
Alright, so at this time, Jake, you have Supremacy. You want to roll a D3 over here?
D3 over here.
That's worth 3 points.
3 points.
Well done, sir. Alright,
I'm
Guard.
gonna discard. Discard. Assassinate.
Okay. Guard turn 5 coming up next. The Guard retain mission critical objective 3, secure objective 3, and have drawn psychological warfare. Very tough against the Marines, but we'll see what we can do. On to Guard movement. The 17th Shetland Light Dragoons have pressed forward. These guys jumped out of the Rhino in advance, rolled a 1 on the advance, so I used a strategy. My last command point to reroll that, rolled a 4 then, so they got to move a total of 13 inches. And that's the lieutenant there behind them, getting ready to give them an order as well. And then the Chimera moved up in support. It's 10 inches. Over here, Sentinel moved up. The Commander's Rhino moved up. We stayed in place back here for the most part, to include the Plasmacutioner, but we did kind of bubble wrap them a bit with that squad of infantrymen. And this Sentinel moved back on the right side. So we're not going to have any, well, we will have some psychic, so we'll come back to you after that. Guard turn 5 psychic phase. After taking a couple turns off, this guy finally rolled well, an 11. So we have Night Shroud on the commander's tank in order to keep him alive. So next up, Guard shooting. That Devastator there is the bane of my existence. After much of the 17th Shetland Light Dragoons opened up fire to include the Vanquisher Cannon, 10 shots from the Lehman Russ Battle Cannon, that Chimera, that autocannon. Jake rolled that many saves. The 3 failed. Everything else was like a 4-up or a 5-up that he needed to save, and he made them all.
The 3 was from the Sentinel shooting.
And the Sentinel with the crack missile back there. Unbelievable. This guy did try to shoot down here, but missed. The Plasmacutioner did manage to kill 1, thanks in part because of the order the commander gave him to reroll 1s. The other order given by the commander was for him to reroll 1s. It should have been devastating, but look at all those 5s and 6s and 4s. What really matters over here is the Guard have moved forward, given the move order by the lieutenant. They have captured number 3 because they are defenders of the Imperium and have objectives secured over that chaplain. So with that, we'll go to my score. The Guard have scored mission critical objective number 3. And since I took it from Jake, I got D3. Unfortunately, I rolled a 1. But I also got secure objective 3. So overall, 2 more points to the guard as we go Crimson Fist, turn 5. Jake, your card, sir.
Secure objective 5, big game hunter.
Big game hunter is possible.
Yeah.
I'm sitting at 8 points. Jake is sitting on 5 right now at the bottom of turn 5. So we'll see if you can get big game hunter here in the psychic / shooting phase.
Terminators, moving to advance on the objective. Librarian moved up here, didn't move, moved up 6 inches. Sergeant moved over to here. Chaplain moved over to here. This guy stood still, shooting. Tried shooting him in the face with the sergeant, didn't work. Tried shooting that, didn't work. This guy took out that guy.
That was my Plasmacutioner.
Heavy bolter shot 3 times over here. I think he took 1 wound off these guys.
Yep.
Storm bolter from the chaplain, I think, took a wound off these guys.
Yep.
This guy failed to do anything. This guy shot at this guy as well as this guy, blowing that thing up. I should have shot this guy first.
Yeah, so that was
And then hose these guys with them, but that's my mistake. And, oh yeah, did a smite as well. And it went off, and I think I took a couple wounds off.
1 wound off there, yep. So, Jake, you scored 2 cards, right?
Scored
Well,
one
sorry,
card.
1 card.
Big game hunter for 1 point, which brings me up to 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm sitting on 8. I owe you a morale check because 2 guys died getting out of that chimera.
6.
It's a 3. And 2 guys died over there. That's a 1. The Shelties know they're winning. And winning indeed. So it's the end of turn 5. We roll to see if the game continues.
Who does that? Yeah.
I do. And it's a 1. Good game,
Good
sir.
game, man. Awesome.
As always, well, I'm sure there'll be a lot of comments about how I played with the guard, but, you know, I just want to point out, in 2 turns, I moved from way back here and secured that objective for a total of 3 points. They are fast. They are deadly. I love the Tallarn Regimental Doctrine as it applies to my 17th Shetland Light Dragoons. We'll be back with the wrap-up. Stay tuned.
That's a direct order. Do it now.
All right, welcome back. After that very exciting battle, just a quick update. Failed to account for line breaker, so the final score was 9-6. Definitely the closest game I've had with my guard so far. Your Marines were very resilient, especially in cover.
Yeah, I mean, both those Terminators and that assault squad, you know, to try to get in and get those tanks in the back line, but positioning, that 9 inches will get you, and you're forced to drop them in on the 3rd turn or you lose them. So I'd start playing defensively, and the cards just, that's a mismanagement with my cards in the beginning, and the cards are just not falling right for myself. But it's a great game.
Yeah.
Great game. Great.
So both of us discarded secure
Yeah.
objective 6, defend objective 6.
Yeah.
And both of us could have easily have gotten it during different parts of the game.
Mine was probably that hold the line. I probably should have
Stop.
kept that and discarded the objective 6 in the 1st turn. I would have got the hold the line card in the
Yep.
2nd turn.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, game start with me seizing the initiative, and then my Scions came in. They had a job to do, and that was to take out one of your 2 Devastator squads, and they managed to do that
Yeah.
for the most part. But I wasn't expecting the huge counterattack that you levied against them. That was nice.
I mean, you got to. I mean, you can't have those guys in the back lines, and they're just Scions -2 if they hit you, and they're 3-ups to hit. I mean, you give them order. I mean, pretty deadly dudes. You got to knock them out.
Yeah. And then perhaps I should have taken a couple of thoughts. I did the Tallarn ambush stratagem, which was pretty cool. 3 units to essentially outflank anywhere on the board. I put the Punisher in there. In retrospect, maybe the Executioner would have been better. The reason why I put the Punisher in there was the 24-inch range.
Yeah.
You can really get it in close. But the Executioner could have done a lot more damage, I think.
I thought you were going to drop those guys right there in the back, like behind the Devastators, behind the building, near Objective 3. And, you know, that would have made me shift that direction, which I really didn't have much stuff over there besides the Devastators. I thought you were going to hose those guys down from the get-go with those weapon systems right there.
Devastators up in the tower? Or?
Yeah, in the tower.
You know, I put a lot of shots against those Devastators. I think you talked, they're your MVP.
The Devastators definitely in the MVPs. The dice, I tell you what, those dice I got in that starter set, those have been the best dice rolls I've ever gotten in my life. I'm probably going to roll poorly from here on out, but...
You know, you paid a good price for just the dice. You got the dice for free at this point. That was crazy.
You're looking at the guy that hasn't even assembled his Primaris guys yet. They're still on the sprue because for some reason they just kind of make me angry a little bit, those models. For some reason, I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of like them.
But I might, I'm thinking, maybe in the future, I don't know if I want to do a different chapter with them or add them to Crimson Fists, which are totally depleted and would get plussed up with those guys right away.
Yeah, I'm sure they would welcome some Primaris Space Marines into their lines. As far as other things, again, still love the Guard Codex and the Stratagems. As you saw, the Tallarn can be extremely fast once we decide to break out. After Jake finally dropped his units in, turn 4, got everyone in the Chimera. Turn 5, we were way in the rear of your lines. Scored me 3 points with that squad, 2 for cards and then 1 for line breaker. So, what'd you think of the Tallarn Doctrine and the new Imperial Guard?
Advancing to shoot. You can advance and shoot. I mean, wow. I mean, I have Caddy and Shock dudes as my Imperial Guard army, as you guys have seen before. I don't know if I could honestly just say they're Tallarn and give them that doctrine, but that's deadly right there. That's veteran squads advancing and shooting that much. I mean, if you're playing light-skinned Tau, where you can advance and shoot, and you can charge after that too, right?
No. It still doesn't
charge?
let you charge.
Could you order them to charge?
No.
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 But anyway, just advancing and shooting like that's pretty deadly. I mean,
yeah, it's not only advancing and shooting; it's essentially a free order.
Yeah.
So you're advancing, shooting, and then giving them an order to
first
reroll
rank
ones
fire,
to hit,
second fire,
first
reroll
rank
ones
fire,
to
second
hit.
which I did. Out of the Chimera using a stratagem, and so it's like getting double orders, which is very good.
And I haven't read yet because I haven't bought the book yet. But is first rank fire, second rank fire still only affect las guns? Correct.
Las
The
guns,
shotguns
hot shot las guns,
and hot shot las guns,
but not shotguns now.
So the hell guns of the stormtroopers,
Yeah,
can do that. Wow, that's just.
and you might not
stuff
know
right
this,
there.
but their special order is to reroll the wound against monstrous creatures and vehicles, which my guys. Unfortunately, so 2 relics. Talk about those real quick. The first relic is the Laurels of Command. I dropped in, used a stratagem to give a 3rd command, which was awesome. So, got 12 shots from each of those squads, but failed all 3 times for the Laurels of Command. But, you combine that with first rank fire, second rank fire, and rerolling ones to hit or ones to wound or going against monstrous creatures.
Yeah.
It can be really deadly. And then Kurov's Aquila, and I think I pronounced that right, on my Lehman Russ. Got me back a couple of stratagems, command points. I think it's an easy take, even though I spend 1 command point to get it.
Yep.
I'm almost guaranteed to get that back. So I was very happy with both of those this time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I apologize for mixing up my squads there at the beginning.
Yeah.
I messed up my lists, but I'd even talked to Mike about it before. I'm like, man, I was supposed to have a Power Fist, that Crimson Fist upgraded Power Fist, and then I realized it was on my assault squad that I should have had it there, and on my book it was in there. So apologize for messing that up at the beginning of the game.
I do like how they're doing the relics in this edition. Yeah. You upgrade to what you need, and then you switch out for free. And everyone, you get 1 per army, and you can take more. None of the relics seem overpowered. They seem fun, fluffy, and there's some legitimate choices to take. So I like the ones the guards have.
Yeah.
All right, I don't think there's much else. Jake, that was the closest. Like I said, anybody's coming to beat my guard in the 3 games I played with them. Space Marines, resilient, and really kind of outshot me, which was surprising.
Devastators, I mean, there's players of the game right there.
Yeah.
I mean, just holding out for as long as they did. I mean, all the firepower you had to put on them. I mean, not getting those close combat units behind enemy lines to roll up vehicles can hurt Terminators. That's what I need to use them for. I mean, I don't even have Thunderhammer, Storm Shield Terminators. I just have the standard guys. But, I mean, those Power Fists, if they get into those tanks and start pounding on them, I mean...
Yep, and I know there's some people aren't a big fans of me using the Chimeras and the Sentinels as my screening troops. They'd rather see me have 60 conscripts or whatnot.
I mean, you
Not
saw
my type of play style, and I think the Chimeras and
Yeah.
the Sentinels can be just as effective.
I mean, I have all 3 of those units. I've used them. I've used all those units currently in play. I kind of just build my list, just try to do different stuff every time, see how stuff plays. I mean, you can go either way. I mean, Sentinels, they're cheap for Scout Sentinels. Conscripts are cheap, and they're cool with the Commissar as long as he doesn't overcharge his plasma pistol and die.
Ill-disciplined lot, only serving in Cadian and Catachin armies.
But you know, you can argue whatever way you want, but I mean, it comes down to if you're playing for tactical objectives, you got to go for the objectives, and you know, you got to do what you got when you got on the field, the table.
Yeah, and so far I've been loving playing the army, and I love moving models around the table. I say that my Tallarn using, my Shetland Light Dragoons using the Tallarn Doctrine are the opposite of the Cadians. So we're going to have to get your Cadians on the channel and see how they do.
Against the Tallarn?
I think that would be a lot of fun. No?
I think it'd be a lot of fun too. I think there's going to be a lot of dead dudes on both sides. I mean, you know me, I like to play tons of infantry models. I mean, I don't even think I brought all my tanks out for a match or anything like that.
Nope, not that I've seen yet.
But I mean, I can't say it enough. For me, my favorite guard models is those Casterkin Stormtroopers dropping in. But again, you have to get room to drop them in.
Yep.
You know, with the Space Marine Army, the list, I mean, very small, limited numbers. And, you know, I got to put guys where I got to put them.
Yep, and a drop zone right in the rear.
Maybe I could have put the guys, staggered them out a little bit, but I also got to be in range to shoot stuff, you know, so.
And really, nothing would prevent me from dropping in front of you either. So, unlike your guys who need to get to the tanks, you know, I'm looking to get the soft exterior with those last guns, house shot last guns. Well, I think that's about it. It's been fun. Another great game, 9-6, very close.
Oh, yeah.
Do appreciate you coming over.
Yeah, no worries, man. Anytime.
Well, if you like the video and you like what we're doing here, all we ask you to do is subscribe and give us a like, and then keep coming back for more. And there will be plenty of more. So until next time, this is the War Corgi channel, signing off.